After having read the task, I developed this flowchart as a plan for how we should solve this task. And I'll start by creating a new project and by saving it. And the focus here is gonna be to look at how we create a counter control loop. So that is this part here of the flowchart. But the first thing we need to do is to input a message and how many times we want that to be printed to the screen. And after we have read that information, it's time to take a look at the counter control loop, or the for loop. And we see here that we are supposed to set an initial value to a variable to 0, and then we are going to check that against the limit, and if I is less than the limit, we're going to display the message and increase I by 1. And then we go back and we check the limit again. And in code, that will look as follows. And as you can see, the first thing I did was to change this name of the variable. I think limit suits it a little bit better than count, to say that, all right, this is how many we want. But if we take a look at the code, we see that I have created a for loop, and I is the variable that is going to be used as an index. We see that here. It's set to 0, but we don't do that ourselves. It's done in the loop when we're using the range function. And we can also see that, all right, as long as I is less than limit, that is taken care of here in this little bit of code too. And actually, it's that this little bit of code is doing more for us. It's also increasing I. So we can see here that I've been very verbose when I have written these 3 steps here, so that we really know what's going on. And we can also see that, all right, we display the message that we read up here inside the loop, meaning that this loop, this for loop, will iterate from 0, 1, 2, 3 to whatever number limit is that we entered here. But note that that number is not going to be included. So if we write 10 as our limit, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the limit is excluded or exclusive. But if we try to run it, and we can see what's happening, my message will be hello, and I want it to iterate 5 times. If we count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we see that, all right, we loop in here, or we iterate 5 times in the loop, because we entered that we wanted the limit to be 5, and we said that the message should be hello. So now that we have implemented it, what should we take with us? We should take with us how to create a for loop. For loops are used when we know the limit, like in this case where we ask the user to say how many times do you want to iterate over this message. So we know the limit before the loop starts. Then it's a good idea to use a for loop. We should take with us that we have a variable, in this case called I, and it's usually called I, that is used to know which iteration we are on. We can use the range function to say that we start at 0 and this is our upper limit, but it is exclusive, so this number will not be included. And that is how the loop works. We have the setup for the loop here, and then we have what should be done in the loop on the next line. There can be many lines. For example, we could have another print, we could have other statement in here, but then the indentation is important. So if we're going to continue to have more instructions inside the loop, they should be on the same indentation level as the print statement here.